Welcome to Ladies Wealth, our very first podcast episode. I am absolutely excited to be here because launching this podcast has been a goal of mine. For months, I kept putting it off, always finding something seemingly more important to do. Can you relate to that feeling? Finally, I decided to pause my never-ending to-do list and hit the record button instead. Now, I'm outdoors. I'm an avid hiker, and I'm recording this podcast in nature. So you will hear a lot of nature sounds like birds, some wind, maybe even my dog. I'm hoping that this is going to work out. Being out here is my happy place. Now, the central theme that I'm going to focus on with this podcast is faceless brands. Now, don't get this confused with faceless marketing. There is a significant distinction. They work very closely together and oftentimes get confused. A brand operates as a business while marketing is a strategy. I'll get to this more into future episodes. And don't worry, I'll talk about faceless marketing too. I just feel like there's so much information and videos and pictures, just a whole bunch of stuff about marketing. I think it might be a little nice to just slow down on that topic just a little bit. Let's talk about, the brands. Let's talk about the entrepreneurial journey. Let's talk about business. Let's talk about those things. What do you think? Send me a message. Let me know if that's something that you would like. But for today, I want to talk about how I stumbled into the world of being faceless. Now, the story goes back years. I'm about to date myself. Wait, are you ready? Am I ready for this? You might want to write down some notes because when you do the math, you're going to figure out pretty quickly how long I've been in here and possibly my age. My journey into the online ventures started with a new job opportunity that threw me into the deep end. There was no training, no full-time staff. Aside from me, I was the only full-time person, and I was tasked with managing over 20 offices plus my own. Now, my primary job function was to somehow rescue my office from financial ruin. The accounting was a mess, and talks of it actually just shutting down completely was a big possibility. Wait, it gets better. I was also tasked with upgrading their entire technology infrastructure and revamping outdated training manuals. I remember very vividly, like it was yesterday, sitting in my creaky and wobbly desk chair, dusting off an iMac G3 Blueberry model, wondering how on earth was I going to pull this off. With no clear direction, I did what I do best. I rolled up my sleeves, I powered up one of those outdated computers, and I deep dived into research. That's when I stumbled upon 𝗵𝗳𝗄𝗃, an internet relay chat program. Please tell me you've heard of this. Probably not, right? Oh my goodness. So 𝗵𝗳𝗄𝗃 is an early version of social media, but it was text-based. Unlike the social media platforms we have today is very visual. We have videos, we have pictures, but 𝗵𝗳𝗄𝗃 is just text and a lot of code. Now we communicated through channels engaging in quirky activities like slapping each other with virtual trout. You might be thinking, what is she talking about? So in these channels, you can enter what we call command prompts. And from there, we can tag somebody and do fun things. And one of the main things that we like to do was enter the command prompt to slap somebody with a trout. Yeah, we were a little... We were a very vibrant global community with diverse personalities, but it was here that my life changed forever. Now, through the net meeting channel, I immersed myself in learning, website creation, coding, building computers, you name it. Now, NetMeeting was a Windows program that enabled businesses and co-workers to communicate through video, whiteboards, and more. So it was a perfect platform to learn and figure out what I was doing. I merged this newfound knowledge with my existing skills, so I successfully revitalized the office financial health. And I streamlined accounting processes. I built websites and created a robust tech infrastructure. I even updated those dusty manuals. Yet, despite my accomplishment, my job security remained uncertain. Budget cuts, hiring freezes, and slashed benefits cast a shadow over me. I'd just given birth to my daughter, and I felt like I needed greater financial security. Turning once again to the MIRC community for guidance, they suggested something very different, and that was to remain anonymous and create a brand that didn't show my face. And my first thought was like, wait, what are you talking about? When they walked me through the basics, I saw the potential and I decided it was a good fit. At that time, my side income was in the gaming niche. I provided website support for cheat codes using game consoles like Atari, Nintendo, Dreamcast, PCs, and more. Now, cheat codes were simply shortcuts and Easter eggs created by game developers. That way they can go through the games faster and do more things. Now, it was also a very male-dominated space. I didn't feel comfortable revealing my gender. So I figured that this was a great fit because based on what I was learning about not revealing my identity online, I could launch an online shop. And so I did. I specialize in repairing and selling Nintendo and other vintage gaming systems. I leveraged eBay and SEO strategies to drive traffic to my website. I became a power seller while maintaining my privacy, which was really awesome. Now, back then, marketing was a lot easier, at least for the niche that I was in. There was less competition and I didn't need to run any ads or create complex sales funnels. All I had to say was that I could fix your Nintendo connector pin and customers lined up. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that easy, but pretty close. That was actually my thing. That's the one thing I specialized in. Now, I do miss those days. It was a lot of fun. I've learned so much, and I wouldn't be who I am today, where I am today, because of this. Hey, guess what? It's time to wrap up this episode. But don't leave just yet. Here is today's takeaway. Take messy action because timing is rarely ever right. It's okay not to know everything and not have everything you need. Do reach out for help. I'm happy to be this resource for you. You can send me a message in Facebook. You can send me a message in Instagram. My handle for this is Ladies Wealth. It is one complete line. There's no space, there's no dashes. I'll leave the link for you in the description as well. Start with what you know and niche down in the beginning. That way you can speak directly to your buyer persona with that one thing that they want. Join me next week for episode 2. I will talk about how Ladies Wealth started. The messy action continues with the Devil's Prada and Gangster's Paradise. Isn't that confusing? Don't worry. It will all make sense next week. Meet you then. Ladies Wealth, signing off.